And thanks for staying with us here on the AM show on the Joy News channel. It's time now for us to take the citizens' microphone once more to Kasoa, where we understand that residents there are recovering from the flooding which occurred or happened over the weekend. My colleague Michael Papa Ni Ashale is somewhere around the toll booth, Kasoa toll booth, to just give us an impact assessment of what has been happening there. Michael, if you can hear me, good morning. And well, I shouldn't have said good morning anyway, particularly for those who are within the area, and telling you all the stories about how they were affected by the flooding over the weekend. Tell us more about
Central region. But that is not the case today. It is a single lane into Central region, a single lane out from Kasoa all the way to Accra. This is not the situation across the entire stretch of the N1, but just apart from the toll booth all the way to the West Hills Mall, this is what you are likely to find. The reason lies on the other side of this stretch of the road. We'll try to find some drivers and talk to them. Definitely how disturbing this is for them, especially on a Monday morning. We understand this is because of the rains. We'll get to find out why exactly they are blaming the rains for such a situation here. If only we can find some of them who stop eventually to talk to us at the end of the day. Bossman, oh, difficult to get to him, or maybe he may pass. Let's try and find some other drivers on this stretch to see exactly what the situation is for them. But not far from here, the reality of the situation that we have here is happening there. So probably walk you through it. It rained on Saturday and mud together with silt collected on the other half of the road. The whole of Sunday, nothing happened about it. Drivers had to struggle to pass through the water that collected there again and the mud. Monday morning, something different is happening just on the other side. We'll try to cross and get to the other end. It's becoming very difficult to get to some of the commuters here. Let's try to go the other way and see and paint a picture of what is happening here. So just here, I spoke about mud here is all here. The reason the traffic on the road, if you are experiencing it, very unusual, is because of this mud that is sitting right here in the middle of this stretch, not far from the West Hills Mall, and also just before you get to the toll booth. So a lot of silt from Saturday's downpour right into Sunday. This is exactly what you are seeing, the silt sitting in the middle of the stretch. Some of the drivers and commuters I spoke to earlier tell me it was worse off than what you are seeing now. But at least some relief from the Ghana Police Service together with the MTTD folks who are here trying to salvage the situation to help ease the traffic. But probably between now and an hour or two time, commuters will have to bear with the traffic, the killing traffic that you have to sit in, hours of sunshine as well. I'll try to get closer to them to find out exactly the progress of the work. What did they meet here when they came here earlier? You can still see the water. Not far from here, and we'll show you when we get in front, that this is supposed to be a drain. For a highway, there's a very big drain here, but you can see the water stagnant, filled with silt, and some of it still sitting here. A lot of work, I must say, has been done by this vehicle, this heavy-duty machine here, trying to free this stretch of the road of silt. I'll try to get closer to the folks from the police department who are here to make sure that the drivers, one, are complying, and two, they are working as fast as possible to make sure that this does not continue before midday. We'll try to get closer to some of them to find out the solution here. Well, I'm told this is not the first time it's happening, that every single time there's a downpour, this is what drivers, commuters would have to endure, have to go through every day in order until the water recedes. Or hopefully the sun shines so hard that it bakes this mud here, making it more trouble at least for some time, and definitely have to walk through. Let me get closer to the folks from the police department here who try to let me understand, give us an appraisal of the situation. Come on up. Let me get closer to But please, you get closer to us. I want you to be a bit in the action as well. So, since when did you come? First, let me ask your name. Identify yourself for us.
I am DSP Adam Kwajikum, Wager Unit MTTD Commander.
So, how long ago since you came here? What time did you get here?
I got here 6:15.
6:15 in the morning.
Yeah.
What was the situation?
The situation was normal, except the road was somehow going one way, small, little by little.
So when you got here, there were vehicles on this stretch?
Yeah.
And how were they faring? I mean, is it usual for this part of the stretch to be having that sort of traffic when you got here?
Yeah, it's not usual. It's not usual at all.
So what's the situation on a normal day over here?
The normal day, there is a free flow of traffic, and no one has to wait maybe just 10 seconds. It is flow. If there is no problem on the road, it flows.
So you've been telling me before we started talking that this is not the first time it's happening. How long, have you witnessed this happen on this stretch of the, in terms of the silt sitting on the road hours after the rains?
You are a witness. I'm also a witness. Once you travel this area during rainy season, you are aware, I'm aware, that it has been there for long. I need not to talk before you accept it.
So off the top of your mind, what would you say the problem is? Why do we have this?
Well, when it rains, I think the debris gather itself to come and swallow the road. And that is all the point. And according to the contractor I met on the site, they said they have a manhole somewhere just beside the right side. And when it rains, some of the debris come inside and they desilt it. And that thing has not been done. That is why it is causing problem all the time. Other than that, we'll be having water on the road, which of course is normal.
So what exactly are you trying to do with the machine that you've brought here? What are you trying to achieve?
Yeah, the machine is clearing the debris. That is the sand and the water that has swallowed the road.
Okay. So if you just join us, this is Joy News, and we are here at the on the Kasoa Road around Wager, before you get to the toll booth, the Kasoa toll booth. And just before you also get to the West Mall, this is where we sit in between the stretch of the road that is covered with silt, covered with mud, and originating from the weekend's downpour hours of rains. And this is the aftermath of it. On Sunday and the early hours of Monday morning, drivers and commuters have to endure traffic because you have to be careful whilst you're using this stretch of the road. But probably some respite for them, as you see folks from the MTT. We just spoke to one of the folks from the police station very close to us who is trying to salvage the situation here. There's a contractor site. We'll try to speak to them as well. He tells me, at least for as long as he can remember, and earlier he gave me a year, that 20 years, give or take, that this problem has been happening here. You can still see some work being done. Just the other side of this lane is a 2-lane road going to the central region and converted to a 1 in and a 1 out. Drivers ordinarily on this lane, this is a 3-lane road, has now been cordoned off to pave way for the works that you are seeing being done here. Of course, you have some recalcitrant drivers who try to veer off the instructions that have been given and trying to use the place. That would definitely make it difficult for this heavy machinery to do the work that is doing. So some more visuals you can see.
Colleague Michael Papani Ashali there, obviously telling us about the situation somewhere around the Kasoa toll booth, and clearly an indication that indeed Accra is now recovering from what we witnessed over the weekend. Some officials of the MTTD there, together with the local assembly, trying as much as possible to clear the debris and also the silt, which has actually covered some parts and portions of the networks connecting to some other parts of Accra. And so we'll be bringing you some more updates as and when we have them. But for now, thanks for staying with us on the AM show. When we return as well, we'll talk about some more issues. We'll take you to the Central Kofi Akpafulolobi areas as well. They've resurrected the age-old concern about their inability to elect a member of parliament. It's coming up strongly. We'll talk about that shortly right here on the AM show.